In this video, I want to talk about how economists classify goods. And we usually classify goods on two dimensions. First, I'm going to talk about how excludable, or whether a good or service is excludable, which means that someone can be excluded from using it. The flip side of that could be non-excludable, where someone can't be, or it's not practical to exclude a person from enjoying or using the good or service. We'll give some examples in a moment, but the other dimension in which we classify goods is whether or not it's rival. And a good is rival if someone's consumption or enjoyment of a good or service diminishes what's available for others to consume, or the quality that's available for others to consume. And a good that's non-rival is the opposite. That's just saying if a good is non-rival, it doesn't matter who's consuming it. The amount that's available for others is the same, and so is the quality that's available for others. Okay? And then we can put this little taxonomy of goods in a little matrix, and we can go through. Let's tidy this up. Let's clean this up. Go through some examples, but we have kind of definitions of each quadrant here. All right. So a good that is both rival and excludable, we typically refer to these as private goods. Right? These are goods like my cell phone, where my purchase and consumption of this phone makes this unit not available for others. We have kind of defined property rights, in which this is my property. And so, it would be theft, it would be against the law for someone to steal it. And so it is excludable. I purchased it at a price. Someone could have also purchased it at the same price, but the price mechanism is also one way to exclude the consumption of a good. And so private examples of goods and services are ubiquitous. You're talking about pizza, this mask of mine, keys, all of these things are traditional private goods. Okay, so let's stick with the rival classification. Move over here. Good that is both rival and non-excludable. We typically call these common resources, common pool resources, common goods. And these are goods that are often hard to exclude someone from using, right? You can think of forest resources or fisheries. And so people can kind of go out and use as much of the resources as they'd like, or catch as many fish as they'd like. And so it's not excludable in that dimension. But it's rival in the sense that for every fish you catch, at least in the short term, it's a renewable resource, but there's a stock component and there's a growth function. But a fish caught by me means that fish isn't available at that time for others to catch. Same thing with extracting forest resources or cutting timber, is that the consumption of the good is rival, but it's not easy to exclude, right? There isn't this kind of private property dimension where it is for pizza or a cell phone. So those are common goods. Again, fisheries, forest resources, the tragedy of the commons of grazing land, a public park, that kind of thing, or community garden, rather. So let's go down here to goods that are non-rival. So again, someone's consumption of the good isn't diminishing what's available for others, but excludable. So this is kind of like a club good. We often call these club goods, right? So you join a country club, and so you can be excluded from that if you're not a member. But once you're in there, the pool is kind of like a non-rival resource up to a point, at least, or even golfing or tennis courts. That you're part of this club, that part is excludable. But once you're in there, the resources are kind of, they have this non-rival component to them. All right. And then goods that are both non-rival and non-excludable, these are public goods, public resources. Right? You can think of things like, national defense. I enjoy the benefits of national defense in the United States, so it's non-rival, doesn't diminish what's left for others. It's non-excludable, you can't be excluded from enjoying those protections. Clean air, clean resources, a lot of public infrastructure. You could think of national public radio, no matter how many people are listening. It's non-rival and not easy to exclude someone from something that's free of charge. And so those are public resources, all right? And we've given some examples throughout. Let me just pop, quick single example in each cell, right? This is a cell phone. This could be like a country club or an athletic center, the SRC, right? This could be a fishery off the coast of Maine or coast of North Carolina, and this could be a lighthouse is often a good example where a lighthouse is a public good. It's non-rival. People can, if you're out on sea, you can see the lighthouse. Doesn't matter how many people are out on sea, they can all see the house. And so it's non-rival, and you don't have to pay or do anything to enjoy that good. So it's non-excludable. This is how we classify all goods and services.